So in this era of modern music, the wah-wah pedal really seems to have survived the test of time, but even more so due to this. Now this is the same pedal as I've got on my pedal board here. It's the Boss PW10, and it's the digital wah-wah pedal, and it's fantastic. You know, if you're a purist and you want your mods and your different capacitors and your different this, look away now, but for the rest of you, this thing is really, could be an answer to a lot of problems, the solution to a lot of problems that you have with conventional wah-wah pedals, such as the potentiometer, which is the thing that the pedal is connected to, wearing out. That is the #1 cause of wah-wah pedals going wrong. This one, however, doesn't suffer that because it's all digitally synthesized with this, what the Roland COSM processing. So what we've got here at the moment, you're listening to a Crybaby wah-wah pedal, and I've got the wah range. If you look up to your top right, you can see a close-up of just the 3 controls that we've got here and a button. So with the Crybaby wah, with the wah range in the middle, that is really the classic sort of sound. Changing the intensity control here actually doesn't make it less intense. It simply shifts the pattern of the pedal slightly. So at the moment you're listening to more of the bass end, and then the other end you've got more control over the top. So you're getting lots of pedals in one here, well, even more so when you consider that we've got the Vox wah and the Morley wah as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play, I don't know, the intro to I Shot the Sheriff 3 times. So first through the Crybaby, then the Vox, and finally through the Morley. They all do the same sort of thing in slightly different ways, and that's the idea. So we've got 3 different wah-wah pedals here. Now we also have something called voice here, which is really quite an interesting thing. It sort of puts vowel sounds over your guitar chords or lines. So if I just do a basic chord, so you can hear the vowel sounds more clearly. It's impossible not to move your mouth for this. You can also do this sort of thing using a talk box, and you can see another of those, one of my videos on that online. Please do subscribe to my channel, and you can see all sorts of other things on there as well. So your voice control, the wah range here determines the sort of vowel sounds that you get. There's so many possibilities. This pedal is stuffed to the gunnels with features. Now, the Uni-V. That's a pedal made in the sort of 60s that was like a variable speed sort of flangey, phasery type thing. I'll give you a little demo of that. So the position of the pedal determines the speed of the phasing, so it's slow, and then as you move the pedal further towards the toe, it gets faster. And you have a wah, like an intensity control with that as well. So if you turn the intensity down, it just becomes a more subtle effect. Now, just moving back to the Crybaby for a second. So, we're back to the original. I'm going to swap my guitar for my bass. So it's nice for bass players to have a little bit of this, the sort of wah-wah action as well. The only trouble being that if you put the bass through a wah-wah pedal, If I just switch it off now, so you're listening now through a bass amp. With the pedal on, it's lost all the bass end. You've got the wah-wah thing, that's fine, but all of the low end has gone. You might not want that really. You're the bass player, you've got to have all those bottom notes solidly delivered. So that's where the bass mix control, this setting here, that's where this helps. So at the moment I've got my bass just going through, so with the wah-wah off. Now with it on. You get your wah-wah sound, but without losing all the bottom end. So, just switching back to the guitar, there is a third control on this pedal called Drive. You know, what's that for? It's a wah-wah pedal, surely. Well, actually, the answer is this pedal has built into it many of the Boss Overdrive pedals and a few others as well. It's got the Marshall Governor as well in here, which are all digitally synthesized, and you call those up by setting up something when you plug the power in and determining the type of overdrive using the wah-wah switch. So once you've got it set, it's kind of, the idea is you kind of leave it really. So the wah-wah is switched on and off by your toe switch, so you press on the toe, and if you press on the heel, there's another switch there which switches your overdrive in. Yay! So I've got the fuzz pedal stored in my heel, and you can see the memory light lights up there. Now this pedal has two modes. You can either have one memory setting or you can have three. I've just got, you know, I'm not very good with this button pushing lark. I'd much rather play and kind of just concentrate on the music a bit more. But maybe if you're in a session, maybe, or if you were in a function band, you need lots of different sounds, you could do that sort of three different memory settings. The instruction manual is quite intense, but so it should be, because there's masses going on here. So you can do things like creating the things like advanced. That gives you a sort of noise suppressor thing. So because the wah-wah is obviously quite a noisy pedal, so that's the advanced setting on there. And then custom, you can store your own custom wah-wah pedals by determining the wah type, the quality factor, which is like a sort of it's like a notch filter really. And then the drive is the presence control. How many functions are there? It's just masses. But actually, once you get into the editing of this, you can come up with some really crazy sort of noises. And that's what this pedal's about. It's mixing the sort of vintage idea of the Vox and the Morley and the Crybaby pedal and the Uni-V, of course, as well, with modern things like that, voice control, and you know, why not? It's a pedal, you know, do something else with it. It's computer technology. It can all fit in to that one space. So the third control on here, Drive, actually adjusts the amount of drive for the particular overdrive that you've selected. So it's pretty clever really. The only downside with the drive control is if you've left the drive on and then you plug the pedal board back in, you reconnect it to the mains at the next gig, it actually defaults to having no drive, because these are memory pots. If they're slightly jolted and they'd been left in one position, you'll suddenly notice a change of sound and you'll be stomping about on your overdrive pedals to switch it off, going, oh, what the... And it could be that you've just knocked the drive control on the digital wire. Just a warning there. So there it is. There's the incredible wah-wah pedal from Boss.